Next on Morning Focus, we're going to chat about the Clare Poetry Collective's special Spring Awakening afternoon of poetry and music that's coming up this Saturday. Features acclaimed poet Erin Fornoff, whose work has been performed everywhere from Glastonbury to the Dublin Fringe, alongside live music from singer-songwriter Shona Blake, and an open mic welcoming voices of all kinds. And I'm joined, I'm very pleased to say, by Erin Fornoff and the Clare Poetry Collective steering group member Deborah Ryan McFarland. Deborah and Erin, a very good morning to both of you. Thanks for coming in.
Hi.
Erin, tell us a little bit about your own background. I think it's the first time I've ever spoken to a guest who grew up in the Appalachian Mountains in the US.
Yes, I'm from the Appalachian Mountains, and I've been in Ireland for about 15 years or so. Just came over to steal an Irish job. And stayed.
Coming here taking our jobs. Very good. So you're well settled anyway, but despite coming over here, as I say, you're getting around. I mean, you performed at the legendary Glastonbury Festival amongst other locations. How has your poetry career, for want of a better phrase, how has that grown and blossomed?
Well, I wasn't a writer before I moved to Ireland. And then I came over here.
The land of saints and scholars just worked its way into your bones.
And took it as an instruction. I came over here and started just seeing all these Irish poets and just the love that there is for, the love and the respect that there is for poetry here. And it really just made it easier for me to try it. And as soon as I started writing a lot, I was about 40% happier immediately. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing here. Like, it's the only place in the world I've ever been where if someone stands up in a pub and starts to say a poem, the whole pub falls silent. Yeah. That's a really special and unique thing that it's not really anywhere else in the world.
And I think in an era where, you know, a pub is a place where people socialise, but in most locations in the world it'd just be, you know, maybe 50 people in a pub staring at light screens on their phones and not talking to each other. It's lovely that kind of thing still goes on.
Yeah. Or they would be like, what is that crazy person doing? You know, they wouldn't see it as the way they just respect it so much as art, and it's understood as something that people would do. It would be a familiar kind of thing, and it wouldn't be other places. And it's really amazing.
I wonder if that phrase, Erin, what is that crazy person doing, ever happened at any of your shows, particularly amongst your bold, memorable performances, the one-woman show with 300 kilos of salt. What is going on there? Explain.
Well, I have a show I'm currently performing called We Are an Archipelago that tells the true story of a 99-year-old man who moves back to the island of his birthplace. It's called Ocracoke in North Carolina, but it would be similar to like an Aaron Moore or an Inisheer here. And now I do it with a band, and it's quite stripped down. But in its original form, it was a Dublin Fringe show. And so we used the salt to kind of look like sand. And it was sort of, instead of having a big expensive set, I just went to my friend who runs a pickle company, and she gave me a deal on a bunch of salt.
I was thinking, where in the name of the Lord did you get 300 kilos of salt? But there you go, that answers it. Hymn to the Reckless, your first collection, nominated for the Strong Shine Award, which I guess was that a good signing post or staging post of how well things were going for you, the performance and poetry wise?
Yeah, that's an award for first collection in a year, and I was really excited because there's a bit of a difference sometimes between people who do performance poetry and doing poetry on the page, and so it felt like a bit of validation, I guess, because I would be far more on the performance side. So it felt like a thumbs up from the page poetry side.
Very good. And you're going to be part of the Spring Awakening on Saturday. Deborah, tell us more about the idea behind the theme of Spring Awakening. I suppose we are very much into spring, which is an obvious clue, but what else is going to be happening?
It's just really a celebration of this time of year, Imbolg and Bridget's time, and the return of the light, and a nice time for us poets to gather again. So the event will start off with Shona Blake, and she's a singer-songwriter and poet living in Milltown Malbay. And we're looking forward to her singing for a half an hour before Erin performs. And then it's an open mic. So I think what's lovely about these events is that we can, hear the poets, not we might often get to read their work, but we can hear them and put the voice to the words. And like Erin's speaking about, it connects to our bardic tradition, our poet, the handing down of poetry through an oral tradition. And so it's a lovely opportunity for people who've never read before to come along and join in the open mic as well.
And those are always very welcoming environments,
yes.
the Poetry Collective's gatherings as well. So what time does it kick off on Saturday?
So if you want to sign up for the open mic, you can come along at 12, and then the Shona will sing at 12:30. Erin will perform at 1, and at 1:30 the open mic will be on for half an hour to finish off the event.
Brilliant. I'm sure it will all go very, very well. Erin Fornoff, lovely to hear a bit about your story, and thank you very much for joining us this morning. And from the Clare Poetry Collective, Deborah Ryan McFarland. Deborah, thank you as well.
Thank you.